Hello and welcome to the Talking Fantasy Baseball Podcast Midweek Minutes edition. My name is Eric Henriksen. On each Midweek Minutes, we'll be bringing you the biggest news and notes you need to know. A quick reminder that if you haven't already, please subscribe. We're available on all major podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, and the Odyssey app. And leave us a 5-star rating, a thumbs up, a good review. It really helps us out a lot. So with that out of the way, let's get to it. Ronald Acuna will begin a minor league rehab assignment today, and the great news is that he can play the field right away. That starts a 20-day window, so it's entirely possible he's back by the end of the month if they don't give him the entire 20 days, but I personally think they should because he's coming off of his second ACL tear, and you want him to be able to get into that lineup, inject some energy, and hit the ground running right away. MLB's number 4 overall prospect Jordan Lawlar was recalled by the Diamondbacks yesterday after making his debut back in 2023 and losing much of last season due to injuries. Lawlar posted 6 homers, 31 RBI, 13 stolen bases, and a .336 batting average in 37 games at AAA this season. The initial plan is for him to play 4 days a week at various positions, so he'll get multi-position eligibility. Currently, right now, he's only got shortstop eligibility, and his exit velocities, though at AAA, were not the best. So please temper your expectations, especially with the planned limited playing time, and do note he was not in the lineup yesterday, Monday, May 12th. With Ian Happ landing on the 10-day injured list, the Cubs are promoting another top prospect after calling up Cade Horton last week. This week, it's not Matt Shaw, but catcher Moises Ballesteros, making his major league debut. He was hitting .368 with 4 homers and just a 10% strikeout rate at AAA so far this season. Neither of the Cubs catchers, Carson Kelly, who's 1 for his last 15 and might be finally slowing down, or Miguel Amaya, are hurt. So seeing how playing time shakes out will be really interesting because the biggest question surrounding Ballesteros is his defensive fit. Think of him as Alejandro Kirk-esque in terms of his shape. Evan Carter was recalled by the Rangers last week, and he's already got a homer and 2 stolen bases, but he did sit against the lefty last Friday. He was a big-time prospect when he was first called up in 2023, and he's already moved up the order to the leadoff spot yesterday. So that's impressive in its own right. And, Texas is an offense that struggled, so I think they're just looking for anything, and Carter does have a decent enough eye. But he did go 0 for 3 yesterday in the leadoff spot, but he did walk and stole a base. Jackson Merrill was activated from the injured list last Tuesday after we recorded last week's Midweek Minutes episode. He's played in 5 of the Padres' 6 games since and has multiple hits in all 5 games that he's played in. He's 14 for 23 with 6 runs scored, a homer, and 7 RBIs. He's really kind of awesome. Just some Jackson Merrill appreciation. No real actionable news there. Brandon Woodruff will need 1 more rehab outing before being activated for his season debut. He was limited to just 39 pitches in his last outing and will undergo treatment for right angle tendonitis this week. Man, this guy just can't get out of his own way as far as health goes, and all of his pitches are down 3 miles an hour on his rehab assignment, so temper your expectations. He's coming off of major shoulder surgery, so I don't think he's going to be anywhere near the pitcher he was anymore. Rangers closer Luke Jackson was removed after being hit in the arm with a 111-mile-per-hour comebacker yesterday. Manager Bruce Bochy said it could be an IL situation, so look for Chris Martin, Robert Garcia, and Jacob Webb to split the closing duties in his absence. For what it's worth, Webb did get the save last night after coming in for the injured Jackson, and Martin pitched a clean 8th. David Bednar seems to have taken the closer job back in Pittsburgh. However, last night he technically blew the save, even though it wasn't a save situation. He came into a tied game, retired the first batter he faced. The second reached on an IKF fielding error. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who's rated as one of the worst shortstops in baseball. Jackson then gave up a single and a sac fly, and that's your ball game. Personally, I call that unlucky. Poor David Bednar didn't need any more bad luck. He's already on the Pirates. But he's actually been really good since coming back from his demotion in early April. So if he's on your wire, maybe pick him up. Saves plus holds league. I don't think he's going to get enough chances. But if you need saves, period, regular saves, he might be your guy to pick up if he's out there. Shelby Miller got the save for the Diamondbacks yesterday, but Justin Martinez is slated to face hitters tomorrow on Wednesday as he continues to rehab shoulder fatigue after the imaging that he had last week came back clean. Camilo Doval might take the closer's role back in San Francisco after losing it last season, and I would make the bet that's because Ryan Walker has not been very good. Doval hasn't always been used as a setup man this season, though, but he has been used in a fireman role and as the closer when Walker was unavailable. I'm really sensing a change is coming in the Bay Area, so if Doval is out there, you may want to speculate. In a case of what year is it, Drew Pomerantz recorded the save for the Cubs last night. It's his first save since August 11th, 2020, when he was a member of the Giants. So far this season, Pomerantz has pitched 7 2/3 scoreless innings with 8 strikeouts and a .52 whip. That's microscopic. Keep an eye on this situation with Presley struggling and Porter Hodge blowing the save this weekend. This is a good team with championship aspirations, so you have to imagine they're going to address the closer role externally at some point. But I guess you could have Pomerantz do it in the meantime. I mean, it's been a minute since we've seen him. So, again, what year is it? Jake Berger was recalled by the Rangers yesterday after he was sent down to AAA because of his abysmal start to the season. He was down for the minimum 10 days and did nothing but rake, striking out 4% of the time. Look, Berger is a streaky hitter, and honestly, if you believed in him during draft season, I wouldn't change your outlook on him going forward at all. I actually picked him up in one of my leagues where he was dropped. If you blink, you might miss him, but Austin Riley stole his second base on the season yesterday. He's just one away from tying his career high of 3 for a single season, which he set in 2023. Fleet of foot and Austin Riley are never used in the same sentence. I think it's probably more just opportunistic base running. So do not count on many more stolen bases from Austin Riley. Do count on many more home runs, though. Speaking of running, Mike Trout ran on an Alter G treadmill yesterday as he works his way back from a bone bruise in his left knee. Anti-gravity, alternative gravity, whatever you want to call it. I guess it's good that he's doing that. He did resume baseball activities, but this is going to be a slow recovery, I bet, for Mike Trout. And don't look now, but Mookie Betts is hitting .346 over the last 2 weeks with a pair of homers, 16 runs scored, 12 RBI, and a stolen base. Josh and I initially thought it might take him 4 to 6 weeks to get going after the illness that cost him the Tokyo Series and 20 pounds of body weight. And here we are at the end of the timetable, and Mookie looks back to being Mookie. Sliding over to his teammate, Frederick Freeman, better known as Freddie, looks healthy and past the rib and ankle issues he experienced during spring training. He's currently hitting .376 with 9 home runs. So, Freddie is still Freddie, or if you're Anthony Rizzo, Frederick. And finally, I think we should do a short check-in on Aaron Judge every week. He's the best hitter in baseball, and I'm curious how long he's going to keep that average over 400. And until then, we'll do a check-in every week. Why not? It's May 13th, and Judge is hitting .414. He's also on pace to hit 57 homers with 158 RBI. And I just want to say we are very privileged to watch both him and Ohtani at the exact same time. 2 all-time greats. And look, I know Ohtani hasn't been around that long. Judge hasn't been around that long. But these guys are Hall of Famers. We're watching 2 legends, I think, when all is said and done, playing the game. And it's just really impressive. So we'll do an Aaron Judge check, as long as he keeps that batting average over 400. That does it for this edition of Midweek Minutes. Josh and I will be back later this week with an all-new full-length episode, so please subscribe. Like I said, we're available on all major podcast platforms. Give us a like, 5-star rating, a kind review, and if there's anything you want to talk about, drop us a message. For Talking Fantasy Baseball's Midweek Minutes, I'm Eric saying, see you next time.